Hello and welcome back. So, as I'm moving forward and kind of like figuring out the direction that we're going to go with this page and this idea of lollipop humans, I started reflecting today that while I kind of mentioned like what my purpose is behind this, at the same time, I haven't shared like my own lollipop moment or my crucible moment, if you will, of why I'm doing this and give you a little background about me and what inspired me and why I'm even here. So, first off, I love helping people. I think that as I evaluate like who I am and all those kind of things, I think that one of my purposes in life is to help people, and whether it's making them laugh or smile or just feel important and heard. I love helping people, which is also probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm an athletic trainer. I don't think I've mentioned that yet, but I am an athletic trainer. And you get to work with people all the time, from being injured to working back through that rehab process. You just get to be a listening ear sometimes, and all you are is they just need a place to vent, and you're that safe spot. But I love helping people. And so this goes back to 2018. Going on 3 years. Crazy. But it was my senior year in college. It was a super busy semester. It was my last semester. And because I'm trying to prep for grad school, and that's a big decision in general, and trying to figure out the logistics of that, and trying to graduate and do finals, and I was involved in a lot of student orgs, so you have all of those commitments as well, especially with like banquet season. That's a real thing. But then, so you have like all the normal life, but then on top of it all, I decided I was going to run my first marathon that year too. So it was a really busy semester. However, it was probably one of the best semesters of my college career. For many reasons, but one of them is, it's this moment right here. So, I met a really important person, and we've become really good friends since then. And it's kind of, again, the reason behind the idea of lollipop humans is he got the conversation to come out of me, and that's when it dawned on me. So we worked together through athletics. Didn't know each other at all until that season started, and we just connected like instantly. We got along so well. We shared a lot of the same views, opinions, same sense of humor, all of that. And it was like a really fast friendship, actually. But it was one of those, it's always interesting to me too, because it was one of those times where you like meet someone and it was just like an instant like, holy crap, this, you're stuck in my life and I'm stuck in yours kind of thing, regardless of if we want each other or not, because we just saw each other, like saw eye to eye on so many things. But even though it was such a fast friendship, like throughout that process, he challenged me so much. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love a good debate and I love being challenged. Like, that's where I thrive. But this was one of the first times that I had like a peer, like someone that was like my age, who challenged me to that capacity. I swear everything I said, he would be like, let's change your perspective. Or, let me tell you about this anyways. And it was just like, I couldn't win. And I remember telling him that of like, you don't let me win, but I'm also not letting you win. Like, and again, there was no like hard feelings or like anger or anything that was actually like true like that. But it was just like one of those like, no, like clearly chocolate ice cream is better than butter pecan or whatever. Like it was simple things like that, but it was also like we talked about a little bit more like in-depth things that I'm going to get into, that it was just so frustrating, but I also like loved it at the same time, because I was just like, okay, if I want a real opinion, this is who I'm going to go to. And I'm just really grateful for this friendship. But there was one conversation that sparked even more. And sorry. We were talking about, we were both kind of like seniors at that point, and we were both kind of talking about like what the future plans are and that kind of stuff, especially like as busy as we were. And so he was telling me his plans and all those things, and he actually, manifestation is real. He actually got his dream job like a week ago, and how freaking cool is that? So I feel like I was a part of it. He manifested it, and I was just like rooting him on the whole time. So that was really cool. But anyways, so he was telling me his, and I started telling him mine, what the plans are, and the conversation led to even a deeper conversation of like, well, like, what do you want to leave behind in the world, and who do you want to be to people, and like, what do you think your purpose is, essentially. And so he was kind of like telling me what his were and like what his goals were, and like being a family guy and a dad, and dream job doing what he does and all that kind of stuff. And oh, and his core group of friends, like he has like the coolest like little dynamic. But anyways, I was sitting there and I was just like, I don't know. Like I think I just want to be known. Like one of my strengths for like of like the Strengths Finder test is significance, and I want to be important, and I want to be known. So I was like, I really just and that it's not in a selfish way either. So don't take that as like, oh, Alexis needs to be important. No, like I just want to be important enough to make a difference, and I want people to know my name, not because it's me, but because of what I'm doing. And I just simply said, I just want to change the world, and I just want to be known for changing the world somehow. And he kind of stopped like dead in his tracks for a second, and he just kind of looked at me of like, okay, that sounds great, but you're one person, and like, no offense, but like, how in the world are you gonna change the world? Like, essentially, like, kind of challenging me again that it wasn't possible, and it was kind of like a silly goal. And it was this moment that was kind of like it dawned on me, and at which point I kind of like finally had the guts to just challenge him back, and was just like, no, like, this is what I'm gonna do. I genuinely believe that, I'm not gonna have the greatest invention in the world, or I'm not gonna come up with maybe some new theory that, I'm so yawning, sorry. I'm gonna come up with this new theory that is evolutionary, and we go live in space. Like, I'm not gonna come up with something like those things. Like, first of all, those don't interest me, and not that I'm not capable, but I just probably won't. And I said, but you know what I can do is I can change my attitude, and I can change my attitude and the way I treat people to hopefully encourage other people to do the same thing. And in other words, if I can change one person's life, that person may be inspired to go change someone else's life. And within that, if I can just change one single person or one single thing, that creates, again, that cascade I've talked about. That's what I want to be known for. And I told him, he's like, yeah, but again, like, how in the world are you going to do that? And I was just like, well, again, as an athletic trainer, I have a direct population that I can change every day. I help people come back from some really, really hard situations and get them back to their best, while also, I think the biggest part of my job is being an advocate, and especially at the high school level, that like 10 to 14 age range, and then that 14 to 18 range is huge for your mental development, the personality you're going to have, just how you address things like adversity and working with people you don't like to work with, or teamwork or critical thinking. Like, those are like critical times in like a human's life to like develop those things, and I get to be a part of it. And those are things, again, where I could directly change it in athletic population. And that's what I told him. And then over the last couple years, it's become even more so. If it's not because that's the career I chose. It's not because that's the only way I can make a difference, because that's what I got a degree in. But it's evolved even more that I know that I can make a difference in anyone's life if I put the effort forth. Whether it's a stranger on the street, maybe it's a person that I know really well, maybe I lived with them, or maybe it's something that I genuinely don't like either, which doesn't happen very often. But I just think it's true, I guess, is the way to put that. I think that if you could just put forth the effort and change one person, maybe you're going to inspire them to keep doing it. And you can do that in your everyday life, whether, again, you're making someone's day just by saying hi and smiling at them. Like, I know it's like a cliche story, but the guy who was on the way to the Golden Gate Bridge, and if he just had one person stop him, that was going to change what he had planned for that day. And I genuinely live my life that way of whenever I see anyone who may even remotely look like they're having a hard day, smile at them or say hi or just say hi, have a good day. Which is why I do the simple things of send Monday messages every week of like, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you and you're important and you matter and you're loved. And I think it all comes really like far back. I say it started in 2018 and this is when, we had our conversation that kind of sparked the idea. That's the first time I had ever said, I want to change the world, and I genuinely believed myself. And afterwards, because again, he challenged me enough, but afterwards he was finding like you could see the wheels turning. He was like, oh, like, yeah, you're right. You're incredible, and not a lot of people think that way, and I'm glad that you do, kind of thing. And it's been really cool to continue that friendship. It's been really cool to entertain this idea. And it's been really cool to just practice it too. It goes back to, like I was about to say, it goes back to when I was super young. My parents didn't really raise us on a specific religion or spirituality or really anything other than the golden rule. Like that's literally what my whole life is based on. And I mean, obviously there were other rules in our house, like, do the dishes, but I'm just kidding. But no, the golden rule is what I was raised on. And it's simple of just treat people how you want to be treated. And that also, I think, goes a step further of, a lot of people will go, well, they, maybe I don't want to be treated a certain way, or maybe I don't care what they do with me. I think you're taking it the wrong way, where I think the whole point of it is you have to think of others. It's like that quote I said a couple weeks ago, we rise by lifting others, and I think other people play such an important part in our life. And you can't go through life alone, or who would want to go through life alone? So, there's criticism on the golden rule, and I don't really know why, because at the end of the day, it's just treating people with respect, and it's respecting yourself, and it's respecting everyone around you to where, again, everyone feels important. And because everyone is important. That's the other thing, is everyone is important. We just have to remember that, again, there's a lot of things in my head that I want to say about society, but I'm trying to keep it a little bit more lighthearted today of just simply, there is a way you treat people, and if I can make a difference by giving people 5 minutes to vent or letting them be heard, then I know it makes a difference, because I've seen it. I've seen that, like I said, I was practicing, but I've seen it to where I come into a dynamic, and I'm not boasting, that's not what I'm doing, but when I come into a dynamic and I am intentionally being positive, inclusive, I learn to listen before I talk. You let them say their piece. Even if you completely disagree, I've learned to have a conversation versus shutting people out. And it changes it. I've seen the people that I've lived with, they have changed. And it's not even that like I didn't come up with some aha moment or like this is the magic way. All I did was encourage them to just be kinder. And I did that by showing it to them. That's what I'm trying to say. So that is my moment. It's not super, like crazy story. It was just a simple conversation with a friend. But it was the first time that I said I wanted to change the world, and I started believing myself. And ever since then, I have been very, very intentional to try to make a difference in a person's life every day. Whether, again, it's a person on the street, a person I see every day, a person that I lived with, or even a person I don't like. I want to make them known that regardless of who they are, they still matter and they're important. And that's it. That's all it is. It's simple. It really is. It's just the drive to want to be better and to better yourself while also thinking about your surroundings and the people in it and how you can make everyone a little bit happier. So, thanks for listening. Again, don't forget about the Valentine's Day challenge. It is like 3 days away. Go send out your Valentines.